What's up, you guys? Welcome to the February 1st edition of NBA 3-Ball presented by Establish the Run. I'm your host, Mike Gallagher. Getting ready to talk some weekend injuries and recapping the Sunday action in 10 minutes. Hit the thumbs up for us, please, and make sure you're subscribing. And let's start with some semi-good news here. Devin Booker is upgraded to questionable for today against the Mavs in a rematch. And this is kind of surprising. I thought he definitely would sit, and I still don't expect him to play today because Monty Williams was actually joking around that Booker was celebrating too hard on the bench. He said he thought it was funny, actually. Didn't think much about the injury. He said they're trying to be careful with him. So probably not expecting Booker for at least one more. Started to do some work, and he wasn't sprinting at the end of last week. So he wasn't really close last week. Hopefully he's getting closer here. Again, I still wouldn't expect him to play. And Monty really liked to play from the bench. Two players he cited specifically who were effective, Etuan Moore and Langston Galloway, who have kind of cut into Javon Carter and even cut into Cam Johnson a little bit in the last game. So certainly Chris Paul's show, he's had really good stats since Booker went down. That should continue today. Moving to the Hawks, got some bad news for breakout player, and DeAndre Hunter has knee discomfort, going to miss at least a week. Tough spot here. So definitely should see more Cam Reddish, who's starting to play better. A lot of defense on Kevin Durant, and also Kevin Huerter guarding Kevin Durant to start the game. So certainly Lloyd Pierce trusting him. Those guys would definitely benefit most. Also, won't see as much Collins at the 5 without Hunter, so we'll see a little bit of Okongwu in the mix. Also, Gallinari possibly could trend up with more playing time too. Terry Rozier sprained his ankle on Saturday, did not return, so we saw LaMelo Ball start the second half, and he was awesome. And then also Malik Monk saw a little bit more playing time and got talked up after the game. James Bridger liked what he did as well, so we'll definitely expect Malik Monk to see minutes probably in the low 20s, while LaMelo just, man, what a pick he's been. He's been basically a third-rounder in season-long leagues, and he's only getting better. He's been fantastic. Steven Adams also had an injury on Saturday with calf tightness called day-to-day by Stan Van Gundy. He's going to be questionable. We know NBA players with calf injuries, teams tend to be pretty careful. So possibly Jackson Hayes' spot. SVG seems to like him. He won't get the full workload because we'll see more Zion, which will open up some time for Nicola Melli and also a little bit more Josh Hart too. But yeah, if Adams is out, certainly going to want to look at Jackson Hayes. Let's get to Sunday's basketball action and start with the matinee game at the Garden with the Knicks dropping one to the Clippers. Headline here is Manuel Quickley just totally running away with the point guard minutes. Alfred Payton was not good again, and after the game, Tom Thibodeau pretty much was upset with the start of the third quarter, and I mean, it was probably Payton who was upset, and we saw Quickley just dominate. He has just crushed it, and also very noteworthy that Alec Burks took Kevin Knox's rotation spot here. So again, Burks went from being a 1 to a 2, now to a 3. So Quickly he's competing with, all these other guys. He's not competing with Alec Burks. He's competing with Kevin Knox and Reggie Bullock and all these other guys. Like Quickly's running away with the playing time here. So also he's competing with Alfred, obviously. But yeah, I mean, if you held on to Quickly here, there was no reason people should have dropped him, man. Said it last week that guys miss shots and his role's getting secured here. So certainly props to anyone who picked up Quickley. No Nick Batum for the Clippers, so Pat Patterson went from being out of the rotation to filling in. Did a great job. Guarded Julius Randle, guarded Mitch Robinson late as well with some physicality. Obviously Kawhi and Paul George have been really, really good. No surprises there. And Reggie Jackson getting the start with Pat Beverly again has been pretty solid overall. Was drawing up a play on the sideline when Lou wasn't in the huddle. That was kind of funny. And then Lou Williams getting a little more playing time too. Utah has their winning streak snapped in Denver. Almost pulled a really big comeback in the second half after they were down big. Bojan Bogdanovic, big game from him, 29 points. Donovan Mitchell returned from concussion protocol, so that certainly cut into Jordan Clarkson, Mike Conley. Obviously, Joe Ingles didn't have the upside without the ball handling responsibility as much, and the volume either. But yeah, those guys should still be just pretty solid. Obviously, they're going to take a hit per game. Nikola Jokic matches his career high with 47. Had 33 in the first half. Thought he was going to go for at least a 50-banger. But Utah defended him a little bit better after they kind of mixed it up to put more Gobert in him in the second half. But obviously, Jokic, man, MVP frontrunner, no doubt. Other big story here, Gary Harris strained adductor muscle. So he had strained his other adductor last year. It took a while to come back. This is a different one on the other side. But yeah, you got to expect with Gary Harris, man, he's taken a lot of time to get over injuries. So expect him to miss time. Monte Morris started the second half. He's been Count of Monte Assistio. He's been just fantastic. No mistake, Tay. He's been good. More Michael Porter Jr., who had a pretty bad game overall here with some bad defensive lapses and everything, but he also would benefit with no Harris. Will Barton also getting big playing time. He'd be a little bit of a beneficiary here too. And Jamal Murray had a little bit of a shoulder injury, was kind of questionable coming into the game, but looked fine. Mike Malone didn't really seem concerned. Big win for the 76ers without Joel Embiid as Tony Bradley got the start with Dwight Howard filling in behind him. They went with a lot of no center lineups late, kind of Ben Simmons at the 5. He was awesome. 21-7 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks, total stat-stuffing line, which we know he could do. Dwight played pretty great late in the fourth. And Furkan Korkmaz hit some big threes late to get some clutch time. And again, just a huge win for them. Pacers got a great game out of Malcolm Brogdon and Aaron Holiday, and another tight rotation from Nate Bjorkgren. A little bit of Miles Turner foul trouble here. Sabonis is good. Wells is new. Doug McDermott did play. He was questionable for this one. But yeah, TJ McConnell, this has been a pretty nice tight rotation with these guys holding value. The Magic dropped one to the Raptors, but the big news here, Aaron Gordon hurt his knee in the first half, returned, then sprained his ankle, did not return. Going to get further evaluations. Pretty nasty little sprain. Could certainly miss time. They know they're careful with his hamstring injury. So all these little things adding up to him could be trouble. Keep an eye on that. Chuma Okeke could be coming back somewhat soon. Certainly super duper deep stash there. Kem Birch also continues to play really well. A lot of power forward center overlap with Nikola Vucevic. So he would be kind of the short-term pickup now. He's been great. Clifford loves his presence on the glass. Gary Clark also would benefit a little bit here too. And then also, yeah, you would see more Cole Anthony handling the ball because Aaron Gordon's been playing a lot of point guard too. So yeah, a lot of guys would benefit if Gordon misses time. No Norman Powell today, and then no OG Anunoby for at least a week. So Terrence Davis, who didn't really see late playing time against the Kings, even in a small ball lineup, does earn Nick Nurse's trust here to get more playing time here as well. So he would be a little bit of a lower key pickup and a much improved game from him after he's been kind of all over the place this season. While Utah's been really good, he would be a low key stream deep pickup. And Chris Boucher can't get it going, man. The defensive, he blocks shots, I say this all the time, but his defense hasn't quite been there. While Aaron Baines was great on the glass, they keep running this dribble handoff stuff with him high. He has a pretty good rapport here with Siakam and setting screens for Lowry. So, yeah, Boucher, we knew he kind of topped out, but we didn't think he'd come down this hard. So maybe even a buy low. I doubt his owner is going to be freaking out too much on that front. Kyle Lowry, fantastic game, 15 assists. Fred VanVleet was a little bit quiet. And Pascal Siakam is finally rolling. Insane comeback from the Wizards. Scored 48 in the fourth, including 22 from Bradley Beal. Russell Westbrook was fantastic with 41. Just ridiculous. Late turnover was really costly for the Nets. Westbrook hit a big three. Definitely the best win. To beat the Nets twice is crazy. The Wizards, they've been terrible, but they've got talent. We saw Rui Hachimura's playing time increased a little bit. Bartanza also, he looks to be healthy again. Did foul out, but got 30 minutes. That's obviously a fantastic sign for him. Garrison Matthews played key late minutes too. 3 steals. Yes, he's been pretty solid. And also Mo Wagner leapfrog Alex Len. But Wagner was awesome. Great matchup. The Nets are real vulnerable to centers. But Wagner, keep an eye on him. He was really big in the second half. The Nets, again, dropped this one, but no James Harden. Quad contusion. Didn't sound serious. Probably just a resting game after Kevin Durant missed one. So maybe keep an eye out for Kyrie. Because we saw Steve Nash has said for over a week now that he wanted to kind of keep an eye on their minutes. Jeff Green continues to fill in as a small ball 5 a lot. Played pretty well on the stat line, but the Nets' defense was just a disaster. KD had a fantastic line. What else is new? Kyrie also pretty good. As expected, Bruce Brown got the start here without Harden. And Joe Harris set a career high with his 8 threes. This team's going to score a lot. They have a horrendous, I think they have a 120 defensive rating since Harden joined, which would be the worst ever. And their offense has been just as good. So certainly DFS, you're always looking at who the Nets are playing that day. Big time game from Andre Drummond in a loss against the Wolves. Picked up some late run, 25 and 22. He's so good when he's on the court. Does have Jared Allen challenging him at times. Darius Garland playing a little bit better these days too. Colin Sexton tweaked his left ankle. This is, again, the third time he's hurt his left ankle. So keep an eye on that, back to back for them. So I would not be surprised if Sexton sits this game out. Isaac Okoro matched his career high 13 points. And yeah, Larry Nance also doing his thing on the glass here too. The Wolves did not have Naz Reid with the wrist injury again, still waiting on Cat. And we've seen, again, Jared Vanderbilt came off the bench here both games as Anthony Edwards, arguably his best game of his career, 23 points, 5 boards, 4 assists. And him playing well is not great for Jared Vanderbilt at all because they need a Kogi on the floor. So if they want to play Edwards 30 minutes, it's going to pretty much come from the power forward spot, whether it be Juancho when he comes back, Vanderbilt, McDaniels, or whoever. Vanderbilt's basically been kind of the backup center in the situation, but he was obviously starting at power forward. So Edwards' emergence could hurt Vanderbilt a little bit. Something to keep an eye on here. Great game from D'Angelo overall. And yeah, Ed Davis got the start. Wasn't bad. Had the 3 blocks, 3 steals too. So if you stream for defense, he came up for you there. So that's going to do it. I am doing a solo pod later today, so drop me a question if you have one. Catch you next time.